Python spirit revealed in a dream. Let me start by stating that a person's level of spiritual knowledge or lack thereof is often the key factor in whether they will experience growth or face limitations in life. This situation can deteriorate further if someone believes that our physical world is the entirety of existence. Recently, someone submitted a dream for interpretation, and I chose to use it as a teaching moment. You will find this particular lesson about dreams both interesting and informative, and more importantly, relevant to similar experiences you may have had in the past or are currently encountering. Good day, Mr. Ewing. I am writing to you today to say that among your many emails and the assistance you provide to so many in the field of dream interpretation, you will come across this email and offer me some much needed understanding. A few weeks ago, my wife and I had just gotten in from a long day's work. She had quickly prepared dinner, and afterward, I decided to sit on the couch, acknowledging how exhausted I really was. My wife went to our bedroom to finish some unfinished business she had from the night before. Within minutes, I drifted off to sleep in a sitting position on the couch and had this strange dream. I dreamt that I had walked into our bedroom, and it is situated so that we have a walk-in closet to the immediate left upon entering. Well, upon entering our bedroom, the closet door was slightly ajar, but I saw this tremendous grayish python snake in a stealthy vertical position, as if it was stuck to the closet wall. The head of this snake was muscular in appearance, with its eyes fixed on me. Strangely enough, for some reason, I felt in the dream as if the snake could not see me, even though I was in clear view of this python snake. I stood still, just observing the snake. Suddenly, although the scene remained the same, the snake's position and appearance changed. It was still a python, but now it lay along the edges of the closet door. Amazingly, its head had shrunk to the size of a peanut, while its enormous body remained unchanged. It was as if the snake could not see me in this dream, but I could clearly see it. Then the dream ended. I pray that the Lord will favor me in using you to bring clarity to this perplexing dream. But before I interpreted this man's dream, I had a few questions I needed to ask him to confirm what I knew the dream was revealing. Now, I pre-warned this gentleman in my email that the questions I was about to ask him might seem irrelevant to his dream, but that I would need him to indulge me anyway to provide an accurate interpretation. The questions were as follows. 1. Have you or your wife been feeling a sense of unusual tiredness recently or for a while now? 2. Have you or your wife been experiencing bouts with procrastination, laziness, and a lack of desire to complete tasks and assignments? 3. Have you or your wife been feeling as if you're not getting enough sleep? In other words, even after a long night's rest, do you feel even more tired when you wake in the morning? 4. Have you or your wife been feeling drained, depleted, confused, not having a sense of direction, or having so much to do you don't know where to start? 5. Have you or your wife lost your desire to pray, read the Bible, or seek God about things that you generally seek Him on before? Instead, you've replaced seeking God with constant complaining and speaking negatively about everything? 6. Have you or your wife been challenged with finding pleasure in doing things that you know you should not be doing at that particular time, such as watching TV, playing a video game, or listening to songs when you should be working on assignments? However, when you decide to do those assignments, you become tired, sleepy, etc. As expected, the gentleman answered yes to all my questions. the dream highlighted the spiritual root of the couple's situation. The python snake symbolizes a spirit that constricts its victim spiritually, draining their potential, virtue, ambition, and purpose. As a reminder, it is your spirit that is interacting in the dream. Nevertheless, whatever interactions your human spirit has with any other spirit will eventually manifest in your physical life, if not challenged. This couple's experiences include procrastination, laziness, and inability to pray, and difficulty reading the Bible. They also struggle with a lack of sexual desire, constant fatigue, and a feeling of never truly being rested. Additionally, they experience restlessness, confusion, and overall fatigue. These issues are manifestations of spiritual attacks against them. A prominent indicator of these attacks is the prevalence of insomnia. Interestingly, they struggled with insomnia, which is linked to a spirit of insomnia that works alongside the python spirit, leaving them feeling tired and sleepy, yet unable to fall asleep. As a result, they become increasingly fatigued, cranky, and irritable, leading to conflict with others. These are the symptoms this couple is facing. I want to remind you that I began this teaching by stating that spiritual education and knowledge, or the lack thereof, will ultimately determine how well an individual performs in life. In this couple's case, God revealed through the husband's dream the spiritual ignorance that allowed the stealth spirit to persist in their lives. Physically, they were unable to see or understand the reasons behind the strange occurrences they were experiencing, much as many people do when they find themselves in a difficult situation, seeking a physical solution to a spiritual problem. I advise this gentleman that simply praying against procrastination and a lack of motivation was ineffective because these were merely symptoms of a deeper issue. Instead, I encourage this couple to engage in fasting and to anoint their bedroom and their entire home. I advise them to continue praying against the python spirit using specific scriptures. Simultaneously, they should petition God to sever any legal rights the spirit might have to attach itself to them, whether due to violations of God's laws on their part or the involvement of their ancestors in sorcery. This is another instance of God using the gift of dreams as a spiritual tool to reveal activities in the spirit realm that work for or against us. In fact, scripture tells us, indeed, God speaks once or twice, yet no one notices it. In a dream, a vision of the night, when sound sleep falls on men while they slumber in their beds. Then he opens the ears of men and seals their instruction, that he may turn man aside from his conduct and keep man from pride. He keeps back his soul from the pit. Job 33:14-18. Thank you once again for listening to another article from the Spiritual Blueprint by Kevin L. A. Ewing. Until next time, God bless.